Change the world, and there's nothing to
Hey, how are you? I know that many of you are anticipating the release of 0.7, but there's still so much I have to do. But the good news is, with this new format, version 0.8 will come out much sooner. So, one of the problems I need to fix is, as soon as the player installs the machine, they get access to all these resources around me, which isn't good for new players. We want them to start normally, start fresh. So, let's solve this problem. Many of you are probably thinking, hey, this is pretty easy, why are you showing us this? Well, it's not as easy as it seems because this is Jragon and we have to do everything super complicated. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everyone in adventure mode if they are within 30 blocks. Now, I don't want this to affect creative players, so we'll just say m equals 0. Okay, so that's pretty fair. So if you're in survival mode and if you're in this room, then you get put into adventure mode. And if you walk out, then you get put back into survival mode. So if you are in adventure mode and you are outside of a radius of 30 blocks, then you get put into survival mode. Simple, right? I mean, this works, and even if you teleport away, it will still work. But my problem is that this machine now is always running. I don't like that. That causes lag. So what I'm actually going to do is modify this command here. I'm only going to look for players within 40 blocks. Now the problem is, if they somehow manage to teleport out there with a staff or something like that, then that's going to be a huge problem. So instead, I'm just going to make the staffs module disabled whenever they are near a certain entity which will be positioned in the middle of the box. But you want to know something? That still doesn't take into account when the player dies, it's still prone to bugs, and we're still left with a clocking command block. So you know what? Avoid this. This is silly. I'm going to show you something that may seem very excessive, and yeah, it probably is, but I have to take every measure I can to avoid lag. Observe, I am in game mode 2. Yeah, I really am. Yeah, okay, yes. Come on, Minecraft. I'm in game mode 2. That's so weird. Okay, I'm in game mode 2, I go outside, and now I am definitely in game mode 1. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, but now I can grief. No, this whole thing is going to be surrounded by barriers. The only things that you can possibly destroy are these buttons here. So, when I right click, I am in game mode 2. So, overall, I am saying, yes, we're going to surround this whole thing in barriers. Is it excessive? Maybe. It's worth it though. And if you're wondering, if you are in game mode 1, then your game mode doesn't get affected. You don't have to go into spectator mode, so you can still be in creative mode. And I need to build the thing that allows you to go up here as well, but another time. So you're probably thinking, what about the ether stuff? You can go into game mode 3 and teleport inside that way. I'll have to create a clock for that. There's no avoiding it. But if anyone can think of any solutions, I am all ears. I don't want to use repeating clocks. I don't want to use them. I could spend this entire episode explaining stuff that I didn't explain last time, but I think having 2 explanation episodes in a row is boring. So instead we're going to do stuff together this episode. You might have seen earlier in the time-lapse if you watched it, I edited a little bit of these structures. So let's fly through a little bit. So this is by Red Knight. I just changed the interior of this place, and I also incorporated the new concrete blocks on the outside. This here was made by Red Knight as well, and I made some interior edits just to make it a little bit more interesting. We'll just fly through that very quickly. Got some terracotta at the top as well. And this one here was made by BrainMun. This is actually the Yeti tower. I need to put the Yetis back. But yeah, let's fly through this very quickly. You can see I put the ladders in different places. You can't just climb directly up. You have to make your way through it now, which I think is good. And now this here, I built this, as you can probably tell, because it's not a very nice build. But since then, I have become a little bit better. And so this building now, I shall improve by an equal little bit. Now this is actually the first time I've properly used the hotbar saving feature, so let's go. Alright, so now I can get this using Shift 2. I can get this using Shift 3, and I've already set up Shift 4, just a bunch of decoration stuff, so I think that is a good palette to work with. Now, the first thing that strikes as ugly to me is this bit here. It's me trying to break up the textures here, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all, so I'll remove that. Okay, so we're just going to start with this tower here. Reason being is because I think it is the ugliest out of all the towers, and I think it's because of this pyramid kind of shape here. I'm not a good builder, but we can try, and that's what learning's all about. You have to try stuff first. So firstly, I want to bring this out just a bit, like that. See, already that looks a little bit better. Okay, so we'll bring this forwards. You can see how uneven it is, but once I do this, it will look a bit better. The white wall doesn't work at all, so we can get rid of that as well. And we'll replace that with stone, and we'll just add some details later. So yeah, we want to keep that. We want to bring this out a bit, and we want to bring this out like that. Remove you, and then we can put these here. So already that looks a little bit better, but I do want to get rid of this part here, and we're not going to have just a flat wall. That's another problem. Everything's just really flat. We're going to decorate this. We're going to actually put some effort into the decor, and we're going to get rid of that. Let's go inside and just make this part of the wall right there. And what we're going to do is we can make this part of the corridor and maybe have this come down and connect. And yeah, we can join that up and maybe make this spruce wood just to break up the texture a little bit. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. We want to decorate this here. So now I have 2 flat walls. Wow, this looks much better already. We have 2 flat walls here, which I can do whatever I want with. So it's a good thing we're working in groups of 3, so I can work like this. And I need to try and make this connect up here somehow. So we will do that. And we'll see how it goes. But what I can do here is I can add some interior design like that. No, I'm not really a fan of that actually. We shall put this like that. That's a bit better. I think I want to make this structure a little bit more wooden overall. We need more wood because the snow, it just doesn't look good. There's too much symmetry going on here already. Now that the inside is a little bit more cobblestoney, it's less chance of it catching fire and ruining everything. The concrete needs to be used very sparingly, and there's still way too much snow here, so what I will do is I'll just copy what I did over here onto the back. Now the majority of the tower is made of cobblestone, but the wood is still the forefront right here. I just need to make sure that that is reinforced somehow on this side. So of course we need to make all of this here cobblestone, and then the rest is just as simple as 1 2 3 1 2 3. There we go. So it's still a bad build, but it's a better build than what it was before, I would say, in my opinion. that's one tower done. I have given up trying to make this look neat, so instead I am going to embrace the chaos of this build and make it part of what makes the build the build. Sentencing. Wall. Tower. Wall. Courtyard. What was I even thinking? What is that? Bird's eye view. Perspective shot. Wall. Interior. Tower. This room
Wall.
didn't change.
Wall.
Tower.
Wall.
Courtyard. What was I even thinking?
What is that?
Bird's eye view. Perspective shot. Interior. This room didn't change.
Wall.
Courtyard. What was I even thinking? What is that? Interior. This room didn't change. Release 0.7, February 1st, no. March 7th, no. April 7th, that's tomorrow. How am I supposed to get any of this done? We need to devise a better plan than this. Alright, so I'm not even going to bother with the custom crafting of 1.12, that will push the release date way too far back. We need to add the mobs, the decory, compile everything, do the box, test it, update the wiki, and then we can go crazy with videos and releases. Simple, right? Wrong. I have a life, believe it or not. So, we have to finish my math assignment, visit my family while sleeping, eating, going to the gym, gigging, maintaining some friendships, and working, of course. Right, what can I cut out from this? Well, nothing, of course. I mean, I don't have to go to the gym, I guess I could do that at home. But my point is, if we can follow this and do everything absolutely perfectly, then we are set for release April 29th. Can we do it? Can we do this? Do you guys think this is a good goal? Do you guys think we should get this on the road? Is it possible? Can we do that? April 29th. Hey guys, my math assignment is finished. I got it in a whopping 36 hours early, so I'm pretty proud of that. But guess what's not finished? The decory! The decory is not complete. Let's get that field of view back to normal. Okay, so let's review what I have so far. Every time the decory goes to do an attack, it will have a charge. I find the best boss fight systems always have a very good warning before they do a major attack. Okay, let's have the first attack. We have an ice spike which just goes around in circles. Previously it would just be above the player and fall down, but the player cannot see that. It's not well telegraphed, so I changed it. That's basically the changes I'm making to the decory. I'm just changing the telegraphing. Now we have this one, which of course is just the ice spikes, but this time there's fewer of them, and they do not accumulate over time, so the boss fight doesn't get needlessly difficult like it did in the original. I thought that was a good design choice in the original, but it turns out that was actually pretty bad. So we're going to keep it flatline difficulty. And the next attack is something I'm having difficulty with. Those arrows, for some reason, don't do any damage. I set the damage to 8, and they're not doing any damage. Let's show you. I'm definitely being hit by these. They're bouncing off me, and nothing. Does anyone know what's going on? I would like to know. And then this last attack here. This is what will make this block here obsidian. So now instead of just summoning barriers around the decory, you can actually physically see the nerf. And so I have again, hopefully, improved the telegraphing. And then these guys will die over time if you don't kill them in time. But if you kill them, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with this so far, but there's still so much to do. I did promise to show off the more interesting mob drops here. So I shall fulfill this promise by showing you the more interesting mob drops. So remember the Lost? I still haven't changed it. I'm not going to. I might change it next version if people really hate it. But here we go. Let's kill the Lost and you can see the amazing drop it has. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Anyway, it drops a Spawn Wanderer egg. Why? I'll let you figure that out. But in terms of gameplay, I just thought that was a little bit interesting, and then you can get some gunpowder from that as well. So I think it's got a 50% chance to drop. Anyway, let's take a look at the Glacier. Why was this interesting? Oh yeah, because it drops ice, so you can actually farm ice now if you really, really wanted to. Snowballs as well. This one here is the Ore Dweller, and the reason why this is interesting is because it actually has a... Oh, that's actually quite rare. It actually has a very small chance of dropping some ore, and more likely dropping an iron nugget. So you guys can actually get a lot of iron and coal by killing a lot of those creatures that are quite difficult to farm though. And finally, the Husk, which is very easy to farm, drops sand on occasion. How come I got that advancement twice? That's interesting. So this guy drops sand, which means sand sifters anyone, plus harvest staff, and you get infinite sand, and you get infinite mysterious dust and whatnot, only if you can build really good machines though. Now, if people abuse this, I will just nerf the drop. No problems there. This is why I haven't released version 1.0 of TTB yet. This is why it's version 0.7, because you guys are my guinea pigs testing if everything works out. But anyways, guys, I have a mission to get to.